Hello, folks. Welcome to a brand new episode, a wild card episode of Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em, the world's most interactive music journal and podcast. Now, the premise of the show stays always the same. You got to have two numbers ready for this because we're going to flip this record over twice over. So, with that in mind, for the record of the day, I pass the microphone on to the Oracle of Oxford County.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we will listen to the band Univers Zero and the album Uzed.
Univers Zero Uzed, 1984.
1984, a Belgian band full of joy and happiness.
Full of joy and happiness.
Sprinkles.
It gives you warm feelings, trusting feelings.
I'd say it's like psychedelic sunshine pop.
Oh, yeah, no, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Strawberry alarm clock, like.
This is the first Belgian band we've talked about.
Correct.
This is a band I didn't know that was part of the IRL scene.
And no one is happy in Belgium. That's what I'm getting from this. Everyone is depressed.
Just eating porridge all day, listening to this record.
It's a great record, though. So
it's a fantastic record. That's what we're covering here. So yeah, give the folks some encouraging words and let's get on with it.
Folks, put your phone down. Leave the Instagram hose alone for like the next hour. Your forearms will, thank you for it. Enlighten your brain. You know what I'm saying? Open up your heart. Let's go on this journey together. Univers Zero Uzed. Let's go. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
There you go. Party people, we're listening to Univers Zero Uzed, 1984. Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
I have a question.
Please, go ahead.
Was it as good as you remembered it being, G?
Oh, it might be better. It might be better than I remembered because I'll make a note that I was listening to this album during the day, and all I wanted to do was be inside of a cave with the AC turned on and the lights turned off. This is a great ambient album, dark ambient album, and man, what a pick! What a pick!
One of my favorite bands, and here's a controversial statement, and so this came out in '84, right?
Yep.
Think about the King Crimson after this, and does it remind you at all of it?
Oh, you fucking with me, man. You fucking with me. Yeah, it does.
A little bit,
right?
It
does have a lot of this. It has
it's not as dark
as
this, but I'm talking about rhythmically and like it's interesting.
Yes, the complexity of the patterns and the denseness of the music is very similar to what Crimson was doing in this era. But there was something in this era culturally, right?
More like after,
yeah.
To me, like this is almost like the '90s Crimson. Reminds me of more like that.
Which to me, '90s and like 2000s Crimson is way more.
It's darker, right? That's what I'm saying. Like
it's way darker. It's way more post-apocalyptic sort of thing,
It would be interesting if they were if Fripp listened to this band.
Oh, I bet you he had. There's too much studio work and sound quality in this recording of Univers Zero Uzed 1984 to not pay attention to it. And Fripp, if anything, is hip. What's your favorite things about this album? Because I mean, I love the energy it gives the moment you play it.
The complexity of the parts.
Yeah.
It sounds like almost a classical orchestra, like symphony orchestra, basically at times, but with the rock instrumentation.
Yeah, it had like those dark chamber pieces, and
it's complex rhythms.
It does sound very, very European for the complexity of the rhythms.
Yeah, and written rhythms. It's not complex like coming from like a jazz or an Afro-Cuban or an Indian place where it's like improvisation over form and stretching. This is like written polymeters, very juxtaposition, jarring.
It's very focused. It's very focused and it's very intentional. And yeah, it's very unsettling.
Yeah,
very
jarring.
Unsettling.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very beautiful in this way. Now, how does this end up in the RIO world?
They had to be related. I mean, they were with the bands.
Yeah.
With Henry Cow and all that, like the oh gosh, I'm forgetting off the top of my head now. Samla Manus Mana. That's the Swedish band. They were
That's a
involved
Swedish
too.
band, yeah. Okay, yeah,
Etron Fula Laban was involved, right?
which is one of my favorite, one of my favorite albums that we've
We've
heard
done
here, because man, that it's so much meat on the bone on an album like that for stuff that's written out and composed.
Stormy Six.
There
Was
you
the
go.
Italian band. Oh, my brain still works somehow.
So there you go. You're good to go.
Oh, also, I was completely wrong, folks, about what Agartha was. It's the kingdom in the middle of the earth, not the two continents splitting. So, but I gave myself a caveat, like it could be completely wrong.
Yeah, you did. I still think the original story is better. So that if you don't know what we're talking about, that was yesterday's episode. Go and check it out. We talked about Agartha, a Canadian band. Great. But today we're listening to Univers Zero Uzed, and now it's time to do it.
So, what'd you think about the first side?
I thought this first side was solid. I want more. That's what I think.
Side 2. Let's go, folks.
Hard way.
Smoke them if you got them.
Univers Zero.
Got better.
Univers Zero. What do you do? What is happening in Belgium with this? Is there one composer to this album use it in '84? Is it a band effort?
It's a bit, but the leader is Daniel Denis, who actually passed away a couple years ago.
R.I.P. Daniel. Good work.
He's incredible.
So most of it comes out of his deluded, crazy brain.
Yeah, and then Jean-Luc Plouvier, he's electric and piano guy.
Man.
But you got the soprano sax, got the cello, the bass in there. Christian Genet on bass, he's awesome. The whole band, nobody's weak in this band for sure.
Yeah, and it's also a big ensemble.
Well, yeah, the main band's 5, and they have 2 guys that are, guests basically. The violinist and the guitar on the one song.
It's this second side I found it to be. I don't get used to the that feeling of just the unsettling stays throughout the whole record. It reminds me a lot of like cold black metal albums that give you that unsettling feeling and it stays with you. It's not aggressive in terms of like the attack or the music being fast or any of those things, but it's menacing and unsettling in that sort of level of aggressiveness. I like this side. I don't like this side as much as I like the first side, but there's great points in this side.
What did you think about the album cover?
The album cover reminds me so much of Nurse with Wound. It's got the sepia thing to it. Like I feel like you're looking at the album cover and you're cursed. That's what I think. The music goes really well with it.
It does. The music does go well with that album cover.
Yeah.
Got good news for you. You can get an original copy of this fairly priced.
What is that?
Well, I'm seeing like the most expensive, like probably around $125, but I'm seeing stuff even like pretty cheap around $50,
Wow, that's not bad
for original
that's not
copy.
Bad. Yeah, I was able to. I know that there was a remaster of this record that came out in the 2000s. I think.
There's quite a few reprints. I think.
Yeah, it seems like, and this is a band that's kind of, even though it's on the low end of the radar, right, of the spectrum, you got to really dig for stuff like this. It's pretty well known. Across the board, you can find some information on it, way more than other things that we've done here on Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em.
Yeah, they're still together. Although they were not together. I mean, up till I'd say within 10 years they were together for sure. So they lasted a long time, and they're great. Like if you want to go on a deep dive of a really cool band, Univers Zero is it. This is their 4th album.
Wow.
And then they had a bunch of albums that were similar to this actually after it. So if you like this album, folks, there's probably like 4 or 5 that are similar, and all awesome.
Yeah, this album led me to the rest of their discography, which is available everywhere. You can go on YouTube and Tidal, all these things. But support the artist. If you go to their website, complete, you can get the downloads in the best quality, even better than some of your streaming. they're incredible recordings. And like Jeremiah's saying, the other albums that come after these, after this one, those documents are just of the same level, but nothing feels like it's repetitive. You know, it constantly tackles new ideas and new concepts while staying fresh.
Yeah, they had a break there, but they came back in '99 and they were just killing it.
I can only imagine a band like this taking that amount of time, coming from the late '70s into a new modern era of recording where you don't have to spend all your money on getting a studio, but you can do it on a more budget based. I think that brings new energy to bands all around. They're able to now, they don't have to leave home to like get creative. Well, bands like that save.
Yeah, their initial run was like 77 to 86, and then they came back 99 to 2014.
See that? I mean, it's a great 2 chapters. And in that second run, is it the vast majority of the original players?
I'm not. I think so. I know Daniel Denis was the guy, right? So it's really more around him.
Yeah, he's the one that got the sheet music, anyways.
I don't know how many original members. I'd have to look into that. But I've listened to the album. I don't think I've listened to every single album because they have 14 albums. But I've listened to probably 10 albums, and they're really good. I have one myself on vinyl, so that's great.
Which one do you own?
I have their latest one, the 2014. It's awesome.
Nice. Well, and you recommend it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, folks,
everything I've heard that's what I'm saying. This band, folks, for a deep dive is really good because a lot of times in music, as we know, some bands like hit a peak and like you'll hear one album that's like this is the best band ever, and the next one it's like they're still good, but it's not, close to that.
The
one.
Peaks and valleys are more pronounced.
That's normal. So
yeah. This band is really consistent. I mean, I enjoyed this album like crazy. I still stand by the fact that the artwork is definitely cursed. But you'll enjoy it either way, man. This is a great record.
Before we go, here's a good question for you. Let's have a little discussion for the folks, a little bonus. What would be the album that you listened to, like by an artist, that blew you away, and then you listened to another album and it disappointed you the most? Because I have one in my brain already. I was wondering what yours is.
Go ahead and throw yours out while I think about that.
Oh, well, mine is simple. It was Beefheart. So, like, I heard Trout Mask Replica and Lick My Decals Off, Baby, and then the album, I was so happy I didn't hear it before. I just got it at the record store, like, Unconditionally Guaranteed, and it's just such a piece of shit album. Oh, just so commercial. It's just horrible. Like, that is just a god-awful album.
It's a big step down from those. I lick my decals, baby. Decals is my favorite Beefheart record. And it's hard to put anything. That happened to me with Beefheart because I got decals and wherever Bat Chain Puller is off of.
Right.
And it's so different. It's so, because, you took 4-minute songs into 2-minute songs with verse and choruses and everything you can tap your toes. It was a big disappointment. I'm off the top of my dome. I'm trying to compare, but I don't have an answer. I'll have an answer for you in the next episode about it, and we can talk about it. But I got to think about it.
Or like most disappointing album by killer band, like otherwise killer band.
Oh,
that's a different story, right? That's a little bit easier.
That's a different story. That's a little bit easier.
The Mahavishnu. Oh god, there's one Mahavishnu that's so bad. Inner Worlds. Even there's like there's 1 or 2 songs that are good, but there's some just absolutely horrible songs.
You know what?
Cringe.
And Mahavishnu, it brought me to whatever the John McLaughlin record is that he sings on.
That's the one. Love and Understanding.
Don't stop. I'm quit the feed right now. Yeah, okay. That thing. It's awful. That is absolutely just unlistenable.
Yeah.
Because you know the amount, because you know the talent, then you go, why are you doing a version of Let It Be? This is terrible.
A horrible version of it.
Oh.
And it's funny, like the term of cringe has been so popularized the past few years. But that really truly is a cringe. Like, it made me just, my whole body go, ah!
I got a good cringe one. The other day, somebody sent me Gangsta by Smokey Robinson. From the mid 90s or the late 90s. Sorry, but please, just folks, go and look that up if you want to. If you don't know what cringe is, look that up. Smokey Robinson Gangster. You'll love this. It's woo. It looks like a Saturday Night Live skit. that nobody told him was supposed to be comedy. It's real bad. It's real bad. But hey, so where are we going tomorrow?
That's up to you. You pick the journey. Where in the world are we?
I would like to go. I would like to
Germany, France, Japan, America, England. That's the main or wild card.
We're going Germany.
All right.
We're going Germany. I want to get that crowd back in me. I like it.
Well, there's lots. It's a very rich minefield of great music. So.
Well, we had a good journey outside of those places. Belgium comes out on top, for this last couple of releases. But Germany's always a trustworthy spot to be for music.
Anybody got back to us on the Korean Prague yet? Anybody?
Nobody did. Nobody did. Nobody. The world. Challenges are still open for everybody.
All right.
Let them know,
folks. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em, fool. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.